all of your dreams, 'cause I've been rocking and dodging the beat of love. Baby, I'm not the one for you. I'm not letting you on 'cause you know my truth, but I know just what to do for you, 'cause when that Jones come down, eh, na 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 na, hey, ooh, na 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 na. When that Jones come down, ain't nothing you can do about it, hey, ooh, na 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 na, hey, hey, ooh, na na na. When that Jones come down, ain't nothing you can do about it. So now you screaming, I led you on, but we both said it was just for fun. Now you don't want me to get up and run, 'cause that Jones came down, it was nothing you can do about it. You say you in love with me, my heart's on ice, emotions and freezer, and I can give you what you need, but when that Jones come down, eh, na 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 na, hey, ooh, na 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 na. When that Jones come down, ain't nothing you can do about it, hey, ooh, na 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 na, hey, hey, ooh, na na na. When that Jones come down, ain't nothing you can do about it. Now I don't know what to say to you, but blow a spliff and drink you a brew, 'cause you made it weird when you pushed the issue of love. Talking about your heart is aching. What you mean, man? You gotta be playing. Never fall for someone who's taking love. Unless I check, we both are grown. Quit telling me that I led you on, 'cause it was fun up until the jump. When that Jones come down, eh, na 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 na, hey, ooh, na 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 na. When that Jones come down, ain't nothing you can do about it, hey, ooh, na 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 na, hey, hey, ooh, na na na. When that Jones come down, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Good evening, good evening. Welcome to My Sister Circle. How are you guys doing today?
Wonderful. How are you guys out there?
Y'all. Yes, how are you guys? We are excited to be here on today. I need you guys to do me a favor before we even start, because I tend to start talking without saying this first. I need you guys to like, share, and invite people on to My Sister Circle. I need you guys to share it in groups. Share it to your family members. Share it everywhere and tag people in. We have an awesome show for you tonight. This is an awesome show, so we want everybody's input. We want everybody's listen. Have the audience. We want you guys to interact with us on tonight. So we want you guys to share it. Okay. So one more time. Like, share, and invite. Ladies, you like sharing and you share. Tag people in. Get them tagged in. Get them tagged in. So we are excited to be here on tonight for this show. I need you guys to make sure you do one favor for me also. I need you guys to go to Apple iTunes and download, if you have an iPhone, download our artist Miss Nee's song, When the Jones Come Down. Please download that for us. I love it too. And I want to make sure that she get the credit that she deserves for allowing us to even use her song on our show. Even if you download it on YouTube, just make sure that I think it's on Google Play as well if you have an Android. So just make sure that you put that song into your rotation of your playlist, okay? So that's Miss Nee, When the Jones Come Down. Please download that, you guys, okay? So I just want you guys to know that we are always live on Facebook, YouTube. We are also can be found on Worship Media Radio International. That's also on Facebook, on Rumble TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku TV. So I want you guys to make sure that you check us out on those, because you can stream us from those places as well.
Yeah. All right.
Did you guys have a long week?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
My week was kind of fast.
It went by fast, but I'm ready for it to be Saturday.
Are you?
I'm ready.
Did you work today?
I did.
You did? You
Yes,
worked today?
yes.
So I did not have to work today.
Yeah.
But I did do a bunch of running earlier today, but I'm excited to be here. I always anticipate coming to the studio to record.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
It is a breath of fresh air.
It feels like a therapy session for me, which
Right.
I love.
I
I'm
agree.
ready for it,
There's nothing
though.
wrong with that, though.
Like, therapy, we
Let's
like
talk
that.
about it.
I agree with that as well. Before Casey gives us our topic of the week. So if you guys don't know, I'm Dee. Okay, I'm the host of the show. Then we have
Oh.
And
I'm Casey.
my beautiful co-host. I am just so grateful for these two ladies. I'm so grateful that
grateful
these
for you.
ladies are my co-hosts. Before KC gets into the topic and everything, do me one more time. Share it, guys. Share it. Listen, when I see only 18 people, I need you guys to share some more. Share some more.
Going.
Before we get into the topic, I didn't even tell the ladies that I was going to say this, but I was getting dressed earlier today, and I heard the Holy Spirit say, "Expose it." Okay. Now, here's the exposing of this part. Okay. Our show is transparent. Our show is to uplift. Our show is not to show like we have perfect lives or anything like that. Our show is honestly to be a healing platform for women, to teach us how to fix our crowns, to teach us how to fix our sister's crown and things like that. So I want you guys to always make sure that you remember that when you come on our show to watch our show, we are not perfect.
Amen.
No.
We don't portray to live perfect lives. What we tell you about our lives it's real. Okay? It is real.
Yes.
So we are on a Christian network, but we are not a Christian show. When I say we're not a Christian show, we're all Christians. Okay. Our first objective is to give God the glory. We're not going to apologize for that. This show is not going to be for everybody. We're okay with that. So just so everybody understand that, yes, this is a Christian network, but we are going to be real and we're going to be transparent and we're going to do what God tells us to do. Hey, if you don't believe in God, that is fine. Still watch the show. Still bring that person in.
That's
because it is our assignment. Hey, we still going to give God the glory because that's our lives.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we are Christians. We walk in that. Obedience, and that's okay. All right? Everybody's not going to have the same opinion as us. And again, this show is not for everybody.
No.
All right? But I want you to make sure that you always just remember that you don't have to be a Christian or anything like that to still log on, see our show, and we will never, ever, ever, ever apologize for serving God.
That's right.
We are never going to apologize for that. We will serve him. We will pray out every time we have a show. We will encourage you with God's word first. Okay? And that's just that. All right? So that was just some exposure because it's been some talking.
I love that too.
It's been some talking in the spirit, and it just had to be exposed. And yes, just so you guys know, no, I don't have to explain myself.
No.
They don't have to explain themselves.
Not at all.
No, don't. But sometimes you have to expose it out loud.
Yes.
All right? All right. Moving on.
All righty then.
Moving on. What is our topic for today?
Hot topic.
Hot topic.
What's my role, man versus woman?
Man versus
What is
woman. Woo.
my role?
What is my role?
When
What
I
is
saw
my
the
role?
title, I started sweating. I was
Did you?
like, oh, that's a lot. Yeah, it is.
Because it's a thin line between the role.
It
It
is.
shouldn't be, but there is a thin line.
Yes. And new societal norms in place
Ooh, yes.
have changed that. I was raised the old school way. So when I got married, I was taught a different bracket of rules.
But the old school way is no longer applies.
No.
It's no longer
Ooh,
politically
that's good.
correct.
That's good.
It's not. And actually,
We were just talking about this
if
being
you
prophet.
really think about it, some of it, and I'm gonna say sorry first, y'all, because I don't believe in.
Uh-oh.
I don't like to be stifled in what I think and what I say. I'll always be polite, but I want to be transparent because that's what we're here for. But I think some of it borderlines a little sexist.
I agree.
What your role is as a woman and what the man's role is. I mean, some of the stuff my grandmother told me, now when I think about it, I'm like,
What?
you put a lot more emphasis on what I was supposed to do versus what brother man was supposed to do. You know what I mean? But
And don't do what brother man is supposed to do because you should know your place
come on.
of what a
It's
woman
conflicting
is supposed to do.
ideas.
It is.
Now, especially with women, like there's a lot more women that are heads of households that are very strong and independent. And I think it's tough for them to kind of adhere to what we say is our role. So we'll see.
I totally agree with that. Before we dive all the way into it, let's not forget what we're supposed to do at the beginning, okay? We have to acknowledge our Sister of the Week.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. That we have to do. We have to acknowledge our Sister of the Week. So, do you guys want to go to commercial before we do Sister of the Week, or do you want to just go right into it?
Let's go to it.
Let's go ahead to it. All right. So, our Sister of the Week. We will always pick a Sister of the Week. We every week we choose collectively a sister that we want to shine some light on. And this week we did choose an amazing sister.
Yes, we did.
And we are going to get that shared right now, so you guys can see our Sister of the Week that I'm so excited to share. Our Sister of the Week. Our Sister of the Week is Garina Ross. Powerful, isn't it?
Yes,
oh my God, that makes me want to
yes.
cry.
Powerful. Now listen, you guys, usually we see the Sister of the Week on the screen before we go to live.
Yeah.
I made sure that I told him not to show it because I wanted you guys to be just as off guard as the audience. Yes.
Yeah.
So our sister is Garina Ross, okay? Listen, she's an amazing. Garina is, I went to high school with her.
Beautiful.
Garina was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I'm actually not going to look at my notes unless I have to, because I think that I can be able to free flow this one. Because she's so amazing. Garina was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 36 in 2019.
Wow.
Okay. Garina underwent, as you can see, surgery where they had to remove both of her breasts. She lost her hair. She lost just a lot of things. Okay. She has a daughter that's a senior in high school, and she's just an amazing. But she always stayed positive through the entire thing. And when I say positive, I mean she even gives positive. She just gives such a positive spirit, even to us now. She's able to tell her story. She sent this picture in. I did not choose it.
Oh my God.
She sent this picture in and she said, use this because this is boldness, this is confidence, and this is me. This is the real me.
Yes.
Okay? She just started a business called Remix by G, where she is. You guys have no idea. She's amazing. She recreates furniture. She reupholsters furniture. She builds furniture. I'm talking about carpentry type.
Yes.
She builds desks. She just built the newest thing she just did was a V-Steam. She built it from scratch.
Yeah.
I'm talking about benches, vanities, anything you can think of, she is building.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's an amazing person. She stays positive. She's an amazing role model. I want to say she's an amazing role model to everybody that she comes in contact with. She is loving. Yeah. We went to although we went to high school together, we weren't like close in high school, but just as becoming adults and just seeing the love that she has for people. She is so, when I say so amazing, beautiful. She is incredible. She's an incredible person, and we just wanted to shine some light on you.
Celebrate you.
Exactly. Just to celebrate your journey, things that you overcame, and just to say, listen, you are an inspiration to us that you can stay so positive at a young age to have your both breasts removed, to have so many things happen to you, the things that you went through, but still stay so positive to everybody, your sisters, where you're able, if my crown is crooked, if people on here that know your crown is crooked, you're still able to straighten that crown, even if you're going through something. So we just want to salute you, tell you that we love you and that we are inspired by your journey. We are inspired by everything that you have went through. We are inspired, and we just wanted to shine some light on you and say congratulations on being our Sister of the Week.
What a beauty. I don't even know what to say about the picture. Like, to be that confident and that bold, God, my hat's off to you.
We have had some awesome sisters.
Yes.
Women rock. Like, we are just
amazing. And see, that's the thing, is like, you think that you have to nominate, you think about like people that are in the media, like
Yes.
the Oprahs, the Michelle Obamas.
They're
Those are
right
great
here.
women, but we know
Right here
women right here,
amongst us.
grassroots, that you
Absolutely.
can nominate. So don't stop sending in
Yes.
those sisters that are making a difference in your lives and our communities. They need the support. They need to have a light shine on them, and they need to know that we love them and appreciate them.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
I
So
totally
do that.
agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And if you guys make sure that you guys look, if somebody, Elvita, if you can post her, because I'm not sure if she's on, so if you can post her business page, Remix by G, please post her business page. And if you're not on, then I'll get that posted later on today, this evening. But please post her business page because she does incredible work. She built Jasmine's desk from scratch.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And I love furniture.
Chair,
so please.
chair and desk, and
I
put
wanna see
Jasmine's
it.
name on it. It is
Okay.
absolutely beautiful. Okay.
I want to check it out.
All right. So our topic. Now we can roll back into our topic. So Orion, finish. Definitely saying your brother's on.
And that's my sister. Hi,
Sister.
Jude.
Oh, that is your sister.
My little sister.
Yes.
She
She is awesome.
And my Aunt Carol is watching, and I believe
is
my
so
mom.
awesome.
Thank you, guys. Love you.
That is so awesome.
So
let's tackle this. Definitely, let's tackle this topic.
Yeah. So where are we starting off?
So,
from?
It is so
Right,
much.
it's a lot.
It
so
is
where,
a lot.
So what I was taught personally.
Yep.
Okay, so a little snippet of what I learned. To me personally, I learned how to take care of a family and a household from two women. I mean, my mother learned everything from my grandmother. So my grandmother was like the pinnacle. My grandmother was bar none. Like, I have never seen a better wife than her.
That's awesome.
She passed away in May. That was my best friend.
Yes, I remember.
And I used to watch how she took care of my grandfather and her household. And like my grandfather did construction, she would have his food hot and ready as he pulled into the driveway. Not like she's cooking, it's getting started. His food was on a tray, ready to be served to him.
Come on.
Right?
What?
So when I saw that, I was like, I totally want to do that when I get married.
Did you do that?
I did.
Oh,
I totally
I love
did.
that.
And like she had me come to her house and take like cooking classes. She was like, you can't get married if you don't know what you're doing.
I love that.
She was like, you set your husband's pajamas out and you do this. Now, fortunately for moi, I got pregnant with twins right after getting married. So a lot of that tapered off. But I mean, all the women in my family catered to their husbands the same way. So now when I look at it, I'm like, I don't think being submissive in that matter takes away from who I am as a woman. I think that's something that you do for your mate. But now hearing about how the roles are reversed, like the husband is cooking and he's changing the baby, like, it's cool. You know, I consider myself to be a modern woman, but some of it is a little surprising to me.
So I think I was actually talking. I was able to get a man's perspective as well, and I was talking earlier, and I was talking to Prophet earlier, and if you all don't know, Prophet Blaine is actually the owner of the network, and he's the producer of our show, and he is married, and he has 2 children, and he was just talking about how he feels that, you know, you should, and he's a young married couple. They're a young married couple. So he was just talking about how, you know, that both should be submissive. You should be submissive to one another. And I totally agree. It is different. You know, the roles have reversed a lot. Yeah. You know, and even far as the roles being reversed as it says, you know, what you were just talking about, how the men are taking on a different role, but I have no problem with the submissive part. Making sure that my husband has dinner, making sure that my husband has what he needs. I have no problem with that part. Because I do, you know, I did watch my grandmother, you know, make sure that my grandfather had what he needed, even if they didn't always see eye to eye, you know, still made sure that he had what he needed. And then even seeing my mom with her husband, and seeing my bonus mom with my dad, and things like that. And I've also seen how my dad takes care of his wives, something, you know, who's married to. So I've seen the way my dad is such an incredible father, and how the blueprint of him setting that and saying this is what a man should do. This is what, this is showing that part, because it's always not about, teaching me what I'm supposed to do as a father. He teaches us what we should be receiving. And he did that very well, because he always made sure that he took care of home. He always made, everybody has shortcomings,
Right. Yeah.
and everybody has those things, but to see my dad always be the provider and always make sure that he went to work, those things stuck with me. So that's who that's what I married. I married a man that works and that makes sure that he provides no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do also think that it's kind of what you want in your own relationship. But also because the roles have been reversed the way that they have, women have began to take care of men. They don't have to go to work. They don't have to do much of anything. Now, just when I was having a conversation with Prophet earlier, it is different if a man is incapable of working because of a disability or something mentally, that he had to take a break from the workforce, or he's in between jobs and things like that. But I'm talking the things that I see.
It's an interesting time we live in.
It is very.
I guess what it really boils down to is you have to do what's comfortable for you in your home. Now, my opinion of women staying home, I don't knock anybody. I was a stay-at-home mom for many years, but I really believe that every woman, no matter if your husband works or not, there is something that you should do, be it work, a business, that you should invest in yourself. There is a lot of gratification and a lot of self-love and care that comes with having your own thing. You have to have life outside of I fold your clothes, I take care of our kids. So do what's comfortable for your house. But for me, I love working. I want 2 jobs full time. I want a business. I want this. I want to do that. It's valuable for women, and I think
an example for your children.
And it really kind of curtails a lot of unnecessary comments in the heat of arguments.
Oh, that is true. That's true.
You know what I mean? Think about how many times you've heard or seen, then you say, "Well, I'm the one that brings home all the bacon." You're like, wait a second here,
like I do
fella.
nothing. Like I do. And that, and to me, that's such a degrading thing to do. Now, both women and men do it, though.
Yeah,
they absolutely do. Casey, come on, because I know you got something.
Lay it on.
I know. I agree.
Casey had a long day at work today, so
but I think that So, I think we're one. The man and the woman is one. I'm so single, so my mindset is not even.
But you haven't always been single.
True.
You have children to prove that.
This is true. But then my marriage was different. I was a stay-at-home mom, and my ex-husband, he was street. So that's a whole different dynamic.
It is. I agree.
Whole different dynamic. Are you working or are you working?
Right.
I'm working. I'm making money. But then so I'm at home and comfortable with that. But I think I took on the role as mom and dad because he was gone so much. And I don't like that.
Me either.
I believe a man should be a man.
I agree.
In every way. I don't want to wear the pants. And even as, when I became a single mom, I did it because it was something that I had to do. But I don't want to wear the pants. I don't want to take control. No. And I think that's where this topic is good because it's man versus woman. Do you know your role as a woman?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Are you so single for so long that you forget that man is still valuable somewhere? I even know somewhere my husband is there.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you're not a man. God is still head. He's your husband. And so you're submissive to him, so don't carry the role of wearing the pants. So I've never felt comfortable in doing that.
Now, do you think, so I've also been in a situation, because I always like to make sure that I put my personal business out there too. So I've also been in a situation where those things that you're talking, those things that we're bringing up, the points that we're bringing up, but you want to let the man be a man. But what's that line of when a man isn't doing his part and then we step in? You know, because I think right there is such a you try to tread in a place of, okay, let me allow him to do this. Let me allow this, okay, because it could be where the agreement was, and I'll just use this for an example. It could be where the agreement is, you pay half the bills, I pay half the bills. I never will understand it because that's just not my household. Yeah. Okay. It's not my household. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I take that back and say it's not that I don't understand it. I do. It's not in my household. Okay. Not your scope. Because I don't want anybody to feel bad about that. So, but in that sense, what if he's not doing his job? Okay. If he's supposed to be paying the mortgage, the DTE, and these things, and then you find out that these things aren't done, do you first step in and then do it yourself? Because I think a lot of times that happens because we take on that immediately, okay? Yeah. Or do you allow him to figure it out?
No, I don't vouch for being a test dummy at any point in time. Because you know what? I think of it like this. Most times, if you live in that type of household, you have children. And my rule of thumb and my thought process is this, and I have 3 babies. Ezra, Elijah, and Ezekiel will have, not gonna, not guessing, maybe kind of, sort of, they will have lights, heat, running water, a roof, and food and toys. I don't compromise where my children lay their head. Right. So if you can't figure it out, then I have to. Then I take full responsibility for it now. So I used to be married. I'm divorced now. So that is my mindset now with being a single parent. They have to have. And even when I was married, I think that him and I worked cohesively as a really good team. Like, hey, you know, you can't get it, then let me get it. I have no problem matching your energy.
So do you give him a time? A pass, or do you give him a time frame and say, okay, this needs to be done this time, or do you just allow him to figure it out, and if he doesn't, you immediately jump in?
No, I'm jumping in. I'm sorry.
Immediately?
I mean immediately. Faster than I can blink. I don't have to. I don't like that. When I go to sleep at night, I want to know I'm good. Across the board. I understand. So we're going to lay down. I'm going to give you a chance to figure it out, and then tomorrow morning somebody's knocking at your door because you gave him the opportunity to get it together. Yeah. So I don't like that.
So here's the thing. So here's what I feel about that. I do think that we put, I don't know what's that. Okay, I'm sorry. I do feel like in sometimes we rush his progress, or we rush what the expectations that we have that it should look like. Yeah. That bill said it was due on the 11th, and it needs to be paid on the 11th. And if the 12th come, and a lot of times we do that, and then we step in immediately, and we don't give them a chance to take their leading role. I think that's where the problem comes in, because then they're used to you stepping in, and then they stop.
And then you become the man, and you've reversed the roles.
And you reverse the roles. So I think that's where we have to look at it and say, okay, let's have this discussion in the beginning. Okay, honey, listen. At the beginning, let me tell you this in the beginning. I don't do well with this, and this. So what I have to do is, babe, listen, I'm sorry that, that I have to tell you this, but before I step in, I do want to give you a chance to do it and get it right. I don't want to step on your toes as the man of the house, of the lead, but I can't allow, I can't allow the due date to go by. I can't allow the due date to.
I don't want to. I like the conversation is cool, but I don't ever want to have to question your position as the leader. You are not leading me over a cliff. So assume your role, so I can assume mine, so we can live harmoniously.
But what if something happens, far as we'll use you. Your ex-husband. Is the sound off a little bit, guys? Just tell us yes or no. If what if in your situation with your ex-husband, he was a street dude, right? What if in that time that, okay, things were supposed to get paid and this and that, and, you know, there was a drought. And, hey, hustling had to stop for a minute. Because it comes. Because any kind of hustler, drought's going to come, okay? And what if when that happens, do you allow him to fix it and be a man, or do you immediately, now you're a stay-at-home mom, do you immediately say, I got to fill out applications and I got to go to work because I got to do this for my babies? I get it. Baby over here is like, what? No, I'm going to get a job today. That's what I was saying. But do you allow him to say, nope, I'm a go-getter, I'm going to make sure we taken care of? Because I think that when we now, guys, listen, I'm definitely for the women, but I also have learned to advocate for men as well. I don't know how it happened because, that kid's father of mine, I don't know how I end up being like this, but because I think when we do that and when we don't allow them to fix it the way they know how, I think we kind of step on their pride and degrade them as a man. It could go one or two ways. He could step out and he could say, I'm not dealing with this. And he could just be like, hey, I'm going to let you do it. Or he can be like, I don't like this. I don't like feeling like this. Right. I fell off for a minute. God, let me get it back. Let me go out here and get it the way. Don't ask no questions. Let me go out here and get it the way I know how, and make sure before you say, oh no, I'm putting in an application.
No, go pull an all-nighter and make it happen.
Yeah.
I can't.
All-nighter.
Y'all making me so excited in this topic. Let me give you a man's perspective.
I love an all-nighter. I don't know. Maybe, you know.
I get it, though.
I understand what you're saying.
I do get it.
I'm
uneasy.
okay, so yeah, I'm
you know?
calling DTE. I'm making arrangements. I'm trying to see where we can stretch this, that, and the other. But, look.
I guess because I've been there. Like, I was a young married couple. You know what I mean? And when we got married, we had not a penny. But we're both hard workers. And, you know, sometimes stuff happens. Like, oh, my God, did you remember to pay the DTE? I didn't remember. So instinctually, my first thought process is, well, I'm not getting ready to sit here like, my husband got it. Well, I don't do sinking ships.
Right.
Okay? We're going to swim. We floating.
Ship.
We're floating. Okay? If I got to float us both. But I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to make a phone call. You make a phone call. And whoever gets it first is who got it.
So, see, I think that way is fine. But I think because of how we sometimes address it, I think it becomes... that's when the issue comes, because I think for men, it's a man always wants to feel like you appreciate him.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He's worth something to you. He's valuable to this household. He's valuable to the marriage. He's valuable as a father. They want to feel like that, even if they're not given
Right, no, but I'm saying all men are not raised like to think like that. They're just some are
not
just
even meant to be the heads of households.
Or they don't know how, or they don't even know. They don't just know how.
You are a man by genetics, but you're not meant to be the head of a household. Maybe in your own little kingdom, in your own little apartment, you can be, but some are just not. Just how I don't think that some women should be,
or some just don't.
You shouldn't be a husband. You shouldn't be a wife. I'm just going to say it. Some of us don't belong.
But is it that they're not ready, or they just don't want to do it, or they weren't raised to do it?
You don't belong there.
You just
you don't belong in that group.
You just don't belong in that group, she said.
You don't. Because I think to be the head of a household, to be a man, and to be the woman of a house, you really have to know what your position is.
I agree.
You've got to know. You've got to know what God says, more importantly.
I agree with that, too.
I'm going to need you to get a book. Pray about it, fast about it. Go to a pastor about counseling about it.
Here's what here's what we're not going to like, though. Here's what we're not going to like. You said, what if they weren't taught? Okay. So when do the woman take accountability for you being in a relationship with somebody that wasn't taught?
See, Well,
I'm just saying.
Send the offering.
I'm just saying.
But he was
because
cute
you
and
looked
he was
over
going to get it.
and
No.
you looked over
You
all
looked over
the
all
warning
that.
signs.
Yeah.
No.
You looked over the fact that he'll rather go to the store and buy lottery tickets and all of that stuff, and buy Jordans and buy all
Air
this
Force
stuff.
Ones
But he
and
don't
be
make
cute.
sure you looked
No.
over that
You
because
looked
he
over that
bought
'cause
you
it was cute.
Jordans.
Yep.
And y'all was cute.
And y'all was cute together.
And
So,
now you're pregnant. And you
Oh,
don't know
we
what
ain't
you're gonna.
pregnant, are we?
Oh, we're pregnant, and
and
now we don't
hopefully
know
still
what we're
cute
gonna
together.
do. You guys better look for red flags and stop paying attention to these guys who look good, who've got big belt buckles and all this other dumb stuff.
Ugh.
See if they can lead your household and they
thanks.
can lead you and be a good provider and can work as a teammate, or else you'll be crying about it later.
I mean, and we have to take accountability as women.
So we cannot take on their role to baby them and look past it and
Absolutely
hope
No.
not. No.
they will grow up.
You
They're not
cannot.
going to.
You cannot. And they're not gonna go. They're not gonna do it as long as you pampering them and coddling. That's not happening. It's not gonna happen.
But see that
If you keep stepping in and you keep paying the mortgage and you keep buying the
So
groceries,
wait, the man that we're paying the mortgage for, do he have a job? Or he go to work
But
and
you
just
know,
doesn't pay the
there
bills?
are probably
It's
a
both.
lot of men
It's
that
both.
have jobs that still. Like I've watched the shows about
Y'all,
that.
I'm learning while
Look,
I'm
have
Okay.
jobs.
Look at what your baby said.
Yeah,
Look at what your
have
baby
jobs
said.
and don't know how to pay their bills. Where she say, I feel
She said,
attacked.
"I feel
Let me pay. Look, cutie pie. Okay, you too pretty for that. Don't make your mom beat you and make me find you and beat you too. You find a good man that can take care of you and you be a good partner. Don't do that.
So does that fall into what you just said? Does that fall into the same thing as trying to build a man or a woman? Trying to build them? I mean,
And you
I think you can teach. I think when you get with someone, you can teach them different things, but it is not our jobs as
It is
women
not.
to raise a man
It
to
is not.
walk into his position as the head of a household.
it's
Not our
It's
job.
not.
You
No,
will
it's not.
forever
I
lose
agree.
that battle trying to
not.
do that. Just how it's not his job. Like, if I ever heard a man say, well, I taught her how to be a woman.
how does that
Pardon
work?
me? Come again? I don't even understand that in English or Swahili.
Absolutely.
It's not your job.
So for all my single sisters
Mm-hmm.
who are maybe looking to get married or, their mate is coming along, how can they decrease and start preparing? Meaning you got to shift now
You
because
do.
you're no longer wearing the pants. You're no longer having to pay the bills.
I think for that answer, I think because when you're independent and you're single, you're doing everything yourself.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's about one, who you choose, the mate who chooses you. I
That's
think
right,
That's
the mate, yes.
the mate that chooses you has to be able to be patient with that transition because it is a transition.
Yeah.
It's a transition to allow a man to buy your groceries. It's a transition to allow a woman, okay, to pay the check.
Yeah.
Those things are transitional because you are not used to those things.
That's right.
But you do have to step aside because if you are with a man that is leading, and I'm not going to say the right way, I'm going to say the way that you were brought up for him to lead because we can't biblical way.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
If a man is leading you in the biblical way, you will damage that relationship if you don't step aside and allow him to lead the way that he's supposed to lead. Now, what do? You probably want to get around people that can actually feed you that type of, hey, well, this is what you should do as far as that. Allow him to do this. Allow him to do that. Start by just allowing him to open your car door. You ain't got to go over there first.
That's right.
Okay, you ain't got
And
to
see, that's
step
where
and grab the
society
handle.
comes in and
Yeah.
says, he should do this, or he should pay this, or he should. That's society.
I
That's
made
the
a
world that
status
we
about
live
that
in.
today about the
It's-
door, about
it's-
my daughters.
Yeah.
I teach my daughters. I promise you,
have to be
I teach
appreciative.
my daughters to say thank you when a man opens the door to a building, or when they open the car door I teach them, if they're brothers, I don't care if it's their brothers, their daddy, whoever it is, opens the car, you say thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay? The same expectation that you have for him to do this,
Yeah.
then that's the same expectation he should have for you to say thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It should be thank you.
It should be
Because in the
reciprocated,
Bible,
yeah.
it don't say, I got a man supposed to open the door and things like that.
right.
That is something that he was taught. He was taught to be a gentleman.
Yep.
He was taught that no, I don't want my woman is too precious. She is too gold. She's gold. I don't want her to touch the door. I don't want her to do anything like that. He was taught that, and now he's putting it into play.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But you should still say thank you. When I see a woman that's just you expect it to happen,
Yeah, they feel
and then
they have a sense of entitlement.
and then
They
you
do.
got like a
Yeah.
Expect that.
and then
Yeah.
you don't even say thank you, and you just walk past like he didn't do. At that point, let the door hit her.
Yeah. Oh, I was at a
I'm just
store
saying.
once and I saw a woman stand. Now they were not together, but she stood at the door because he walked ahead of her, and she was like, "Aren't you?" But who are you?
Who are you?
He doesn't have to do that for you. It's nice if they do, but like you said, you always should. I just think you should reciprocate what you require.
I think a
you
lady
know?
should always just be
A
a lady.
lady.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
it. Just be a lady.
Yeah, but that's
Don't
that's a
wear the
whole other
britches.
show because we're lacking in that as well.
So before we put our pearl of wisdom on, I think we do have a little. We gonna run over just a little bit because we did come on late, guys. But knowing it's okay to let a leader lead, I think that's what we should incorporate as women,
Yeah.
as sisters. We have to incorporate letting them lead. Letting them lead.
Yeah.
It is okay to allow them to lead. I'm not saying get on the sinking ship. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it is okay to allow him to lead, and it's okay that if he has everybody has shortcomings.
Yeah.
It's okay to still say you are still valuable, husband. James, you are still valuable no matter whatever your shortcomings are. It is still okay to say those things because
Yeah.
my husband had a car accident in 2013 and was off work for a few years. There was never a time in our marriage, never a time. He was off work, and I never made him feel less of the head of the house.
See,
Never. Because he was off for a reason. I married a provider, so I know it ain't laziness. It's because he had a reason to be off.
Yeah.
Okay? And I feel like, I told Prophet this earlier, I feel like had I made him feel less, we would not be in a marriage today.
absolutely.
That's so damaging.
It's so damaging. What the things psychological that he was dealing with as a man,
You
who's
didn't need
who's
to
a
ask
provider.
for it.
He's
Yeah.
already a provider. His number one goal is to take care of his family.
Yeah.
So when he couldn't, it's already mentally,
Yeah.
messing with him. So mentally, I'm not going to add to the mental anguish that he's already going through with not being able to do what he likes to do, what he wants to do
Yeah.
for his family. There was no way that I would have done that.
There's seasons. You
It
go
is.
through seasons where sometimes the wife is going to be the head. You know what I mean? Even though we're not supposed to, sometimes you're going to have to go to work and fill in, or sometimes he's going to have to go to work and fill in, or change the diapers. It's just a matter of making sure that you two remember to appreciate each other and making sure that you know that it's a team effort. It shouldn't
Absolutely.
be just one person. But
Absolutely.
the other thing that I learned is like
me.
what you said is like,
That's right.
men do have, like, not even trying to be funny, I joke a lot, but men do have an extraordinary amount of pressure on them that
They
we'll
do.
never understand
Absolutely.
as husbands.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I learned that after getting divorced, like stepping back and being like, hey, yeah, we had shortcomings, he did, I definitely did, but that was a lot of pressure to be under, to be married, to have kids, to be the provider, to be the husband,
That's a lot.
to make sure you make time for your spouse. So we have to, even though we joke, we still have to take a step back and say, like, hey, God put them in a really vulnerable position, and we should honor their position and not make it more difficult, but be the helpmate you're supposed to be and help in whatever area, whatever capacity you can to lend a helping hand. You should do that as the
I just
helpmate.
had like an image of footprints. Like
Yeah.
know when to leave.
Come
know
on.
Yes.
when to
That's
walk
good.
together.
That's good.
Know when to step forward. Know when he's
Yeah.
stepping
That
forward.
is good.
Yes.
That just went in my mind. So it's
That's
just you're
good.
walking together.
And,
Yeah.
and we shouldn't. And I think we sometimes have a problem, especially black women. We a lot of times
Yeah.
have a problem with wanting to control him,
Yeah.
and you know, it's
I
something.
think it's the new age thing, because when you think about our grandmothers,
Yeah.
it didn't matter what granddaddy was doing at the corner store.
No,
that's right.
Over at, I don't know if there was a brothel house. I don't
Right.
know. I don't care. But
The local
grandma
pub.
stuck it in.
Yeah.
That was her husband. That was her man. These 10, 12 kids going to have their daddy. He going to come home drunk, but I'm going to feed him. He going to get up. He going to go to Chrysler. He going to work.
Yep.
And he may go back to the brothel, to the liquor store. But they stayed married.
And see,
she
that's true.
respected him.
And
It's
see,
true.
I don't 100% agree with that either. I don't 100%
See, this
agree.
is our
with-
new age.
I don't
though.
100%
This is how we
agree with being
This
a
is how we
doormat.
do.
No.
No.
But and him doing those, you know, things to kind of just like tear us apart as a marriage. But I do
Yeah.
agree that I am in it through thick and thin, and I'm going to
I
stick
think
it out
that's
as
how they
long as
bond.
I can. Okay. But I do agree with that. These modern day
Yeah.
marriages,
We
unfortunately,
quit.
we quit everything. It's everything.
But also, when you are the leader, you cannot take advantage of the fact that your wife is supposed to be submissive to
That's
you.
right.
Okay?
That's
That's
right.
Don't take advantage and don't abuse your role.
Right.
That is one of the major issues. Yes, we
Or
know.
abuse her.
Or
Or
abuse.
abuse
Thank
her.
you,
That's
Prophet.
it.
Or
Thank you.
abuse her. Don't abuse your role and don't abuse her. You know what I mean?
right.
You guys are
But there
equal.
was just something about that. I said the grandmother thing to say there was just something about the resilience of her.
Oh,
to
yeah.
know
They
her
definitely had
man.
that.
They stuck it
and
out,
to
honey.
stick it
Yeah.
out.
They
They
You
stuck
know,
it out.
he may be this, that, and the other, but that's my
Yeah.
husband.
And I think that's
we're
where
gonna-
accountability comes in.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
If we have to be accountability for what we accept.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
For what we accept.
So that goes back to if your man is at home and he does not work,
Yeah.
and you're going to work, and you're okay with that.
That's exactly
it right
We
there.
have to be accountable. You can't you go vent to your friends about it, but you don't take any accountability. Hey,
And you don't say anything to him about it.
Listen.
Don't confess to your friends. Confess to your mate.
yeah.
Listen.
Or
Stop
God.
that.
Or the Lord.
Yeah.
One or the
Take
other.
it to the Lord
That
and take
prob-
it to your mate.
that probably should be some type of content. We should have a show on accountability.
I like it.
Because I mean,
That's
we
deep accountability.
you know we don't. Accountability is a hard
it's on
one.
you.
Because it
Yeah.
is on you, and people don't like to be accountable.
No.
Boy.
They don't like to hear that they're not being or they are being or
Not
Yeah.
accountable and that you are contributing to the chaos.
Absolutely.
Don't do that.
the
And
normal
sometimes we got to go into a women. Y'all might not like this, but sometimes I know we women, we are vocal. Okay? But sometimes we got to go into a quiet place and a quiet season, and you just got to shut up. And he gon' act a fool. If he acting a fool, he gon' act a fool. You got to be quiet. Sometimes you got to strategize silently.
That's
You
good.
got
That's
to.
good.
That's good.
And eat carpet. Pray.
Come on, for real, and pray.
I love
But you got to strategize quietly.
Yeah.
It's nobody's. It ain't not your friends. Not no. Listen, because that strategizing is going to help you be resilient.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to help you push forward, and it's going to help them to see them without you doing all of this. We just got to learn it, and
Ain't
we
nobody
so
welcome better than the
vocal. We
Lord.
are
Yeah.
so. We gonna say it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's accountability for us. That's one of those things. You got to be accountable for you
Your
and what
actions.
you bring, right? And your actions that you bring into the relationship, or
Yeah.
So
Everybody is going crazy in these
our
comments.
comments are
Look at you guys.
amazing today.
I think we have some male viewers.
We do. We got
Mr. Maurice Brown.
Yes.
I would love to hear his thoughts. Do you
Yeah.
have thoughts on that?
You guys go ahead and read a few of the comments,
Well,
and then
my-
we're gonna go into pro.
My daughter
Yeah.
is talking about she's a modern girl. Got a blast.
It's okay.
Well, he seems to be a good wisdom. That's real truth.
Yeah.
It's,
Somebody said I have so much work to do on as a woman. Lord help me.
But
You know what?
Tara, you're young too.
You're
so
young,
take
and
your
the
time.
fact, and the fact that you can
Please.
admit that you know that there's things you have to work on is half the battle. Being in denial is what sets you back. So good for you that you know that there's things. We all have things we have to work on.
The Bible says the truth shall set you free.
Come
Yeah.
on. We have a comment that says from Brenda Morris. My mother always told me to be quiet. It helps. It do help,
That
and it
gives
took
you
me
power.
a long time. That gives you. Oh, Marie said that gives you power. It do, and you never know for real how much power being silent gives you. Okay, not to tell our secrets.
Yeah.
I love Sister Sharma's comment. Yes,
ahead.
that friendship in marriage is so important. That leaves room to speak about issues on a friend level where the pressure of the relationship is not in the forefront during that talk. That's good.
Oh, I agree.
That's
Yes, that
good.
is good. I'm gonna put that
that's
up
really
there. That
good.
one is good.
Really.
So, if you guys are ready for our pearl of wisdom, we are. Prophet, can you go to commercial, please? Thank you.
No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, there is a force that unites us all. Join the movement and let your lips do the talking with Aide Cosmetics, available on aidecosmetics.com.
Awesome Bright Cleaning Services offers commercial cleaning for the corporate, medical, post-construction, and restaurant industries. We also offer 24-hour COVID remediation services. Contact us at 313-509-8345 for a competitive quote. Awesome Bright, we know the ABCs of good cleaning.
So we are back, and we do actually have a pearl of wisdom. But before we go to our pearl of wisdom, what I wanted to do is I wanted to just thank our sponsors that we have so far. You guys have been so amazing in the sponsoring and in the silent donations. We truly appreciate
Absolutely.
You guys sponsoring us. We do have Ade Cosmetics. I have some Ade's Cosmetics here. I know this
Pretty.
color is so beautiful. It's super bold. I haven't got there yet, so
It is.
push
I
me.
know. Yeah,
Push me
I
to
know.
wear it,
Yeah,
guys.
do it. Yeah.
Okay, because I got it last week, so I want to make sure that I wear it. So Ade's Cosmetics.
right now.
Oh, I can't. It's too bold. I can't.
Challenge.
Ade's
not ready yet.
Cosmetics is one of our sponsors, and it is so beautiful.
And we just love Ida.
We
Oh my God.
we do.
I love
She
her.
is the co-owner of the network. So she is our producers and our owner's wife and co-owner. So we love her. She is an amazing sponsor. Her cosmetic line is amazing. So thank you for sponsoring us. Also, Liquefier Prophetic. If you can just flash her books on the screen. Dr. Sharice Lewis is the sponsor of is one of our sponsors. She has a ministry called Liquefier Prophetic Ministries. If you guys know, that is me and KC's Apostle.
Yes.
So we do thank you, Apostle, for being one of our sponsors. Make sure you guys check out the books, check out the website. You guys will not be disappointed. Check out the 4 o'clock services on Sundays.
Yes, powerful.
Listen, I need you guys to make sure you tap into Dr. Sharice Lewis. Also, we do have another sponsor. And that is BBC's Tax. Is that Alicia's company?
Yes.
BBC's Tax Company. She's also one of our sponsors. So we just want to thank
wonderful.
all of our
Yes,
sponsors.
thank you.
And we want to thank our
you.
silent sponsors that actually started to donate the other day after we put the flyer
Nice.
out about just supporting our podcast. Can you put that up as well? Just supporting our podcast with just giving a contribution of $10 or more. This actually helps us out. Our Cash App is at the bottom here. If you guys want to send a contribution of $10 or more, our show is at the beginning stages, but our show has helped so many people so far. We have actually gotten so many messages and calls and things of just last week. It was so amazing. I was driving home in the blizzard, and I got a call just saying how that our show brought restoration right then at that moment to her and her children. So I'm just happy about that. It's a blessing to be able to do what we do. So in order for us to continue to do what we do and grow our audience and bring in specialists for you guys, we just need you to just a little bit, just give a little contribution. Thank you to everybody that's already
you, guys,
given
so much,
contributions. So
Thank you.
that was that. Now we are going straight to our pearl of wisdom, and I'll let KC take this because this was her pearl of wisdom this week.
All right. Well, I just want to say first that Sharma said get an outfit to match that lipstick and get a hat that color. I think that'll be really cute.
Yeah.
I think you could do it.
Do it.
I'll work it out.
And to my daughters here that say working on that because I'm not there yet, you will get there.
You
Just
will
take your
get there.
time. You're still young.
Definitely.
You got time. Okay. So our pearl of wisdom comes from Prophetess Charlotta Smith. Yes, I love her. She is a true woman of wisdom. Her and her husband are, they have True Revelation Ministries. Pastor Smith and Prophetess Charlotta Smith. She's a woman of wisdom. She also teaches women of wisdom class, and I just love her. I attended her class, and it's just so enriching. She is truly, I just love her, a woman of God and powerful.
All right.
Powerful. And
Wonderful.
so we are going to listen as she just explains our topic and give us some wisdom on it.
Good evening, Sister Circle. How are you all doing this evening? My name is Prophetess Charlotta Smith, and I just want to thank and praise God for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful platform of sisters, the Sister Circle, and just to share a little bit about your role as a woman. I believe what God has given me to share with you all on this evening. So let's begin. So let's talk about our role as a woman. Having the role of a woman, we have so many different roles that we have to play. And one of the roles is if you're married, you have to have a role of a wife. Also, we have a role of being a sister. We have a role of being a mother. If you have grandchildren, you have a role of being a grandmother, and so on and so forth. And also, just being a woman, we also have to exhibit the spirit of being able to be trustworthy, worthy to be trusted. A real woman you're going to be able to trust her. You're going to be able to share with her, and you don't have to worry about things getting out. And also, we're talking about that woman and that man relationship, even in that, she's a positive influence on him. She's the one that strengthens him. She's the one that encourages him. She's the one that builds him up. She's a hard worker. She's a planner. Amen. She's the one who gets things together. And one of the access, we have a few access of this woman, and that is that she's like I said, she's trustworthy. She's a positive influence. She's a hard worker. She's protective. You know what? And guess what? She also carries her husband or that man in prayer. That's her job as the woman, as the wife. She meets the needs of her home. She meets the needs of her children. And guess what? She takes real good care of herself, because how many of you know if you don't take care of yourself, you ain't gonna be good to no one else. And I'm just reminded of of different women that has taken on the role of trying to be the man and trying to be the woman. Now, I can only speak on what I have experienced as just being a woman. I remember in my first marriage, I was married to a young man that just on paper, because actually I was taking on the role to doing everything. I took on the role of when things would break down in the house, I'm the one that's up underneath the sink, not him. When things went wrong with the car, I'm the one lifting up the hood trying to figure out what's going on with it, And so I took on that role, and because I had been so independent for so long, and then when we did get married, I just did everything. You think he stopped me? No. Because then we're going to even talk about even that, in Genesis, I believe it's 2:18, when God said that he had created let's go over there. It says that the Lord God said that it is not good that man should be alone. He said, I will make him a helper fit for him. Now, I believe that in my first marriage, I wasn't made for him. I wasn't fit for him. I wasn't tailor-made for him. Because it did not fit. It did not work out. I took on the role that he was supposed to be, and I was the man, and you think he stopped me? No, I started doing the things that he needed to do. So when I came over into this marriage, I had that same mentality. That's why I said I could only talk to you. I can't talk to you what somebody told me. I can only talk to you on what I experienced for myself. And so I had to learn my role as a woman. I had to learn my role as a wife. And I remember my husband and I, we would be walking. And the husband I'm married to now, we would be walking. And I would try to, walk on his right side. I'll try to be on the right side. He said, "No, you're on the left side. I'm the man. I got to be the one that's going to protect you." And I remember a lot of times when I would come in the house, I would see something wrong and I would try to fix it. And whoa, hold up. What you doing? That's not your role. In other words, stay in your lane. This is my role as the man. I'll take care of this. You tend to that. I'll take care of this. But it wasn't that he was being dogmatic or anything like that. He was just positioning me into my role as a woman, as a wife. And so I have the most up respect for him because he helped me along the way. Now, I'm not going to say that it was an easy task, that when he came along, that it was an overnight sensation. No, it took some work. He had to constantly remind me of my position as the woman, and I had to learn his position as the man. I had to learn his position as the husband, what the husband's supposed to do, what the wife is supposed to do. He is the financial, he's the husband, he's the one that he's flexible, he's the one who bands, who keeps everything together. Well, wife, she's the nurturer, she's the one that carries, she's the one that bears, she's the one that nurtures. That's her role. But the man, he's the one who takes care of everything. You find so many times, I got kind of choked because I just thought about this. Like, a lot of times and stuff, when you try to do things you on your own and you got a whole man there and he's trying to do his role and you trying to do his role and your role, and they just sit back and you be like, are you going to help me? Oh, you need my help now? You run around here trying to be the man. I just thought maybe, So we have to know that our position as a woman is that we're to stay in our place as a woman and be a helper. That's what God had created us to be, a helper, not to control him, not to tell him when to get up, when to move, when to do this or when to do this. I joke with my husband a lot. I always, tell him what he gonna do. He said, okay. You wait on that, right? Yeah, I'm waiting. You gonna do this and you gonna do that. Okay, you wait, right? Yeah, I'm waiting. We just jokingly. But in reality, we're not to try to tell them what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. If we're going to do all that, we might as well do it ourselves. But that's not how God created us. God created us to be a helper. He tailor-made us for our mate, for our husband. Amen. So we as women have to embrace. We have to embrace our womanhood, because one thing that I found out is that it adds value to your self-worth. And I promise you, sisters, that when you realize your role as a woman, you'll feel a whole new different kind of way. I'm reminded just about Adam. When Adam had woke up, just paraphrasing, and he seen Eve. First thing he said was so much excitement, I could just imagine how he was looking. He seen Eve. His eyes was glistering. He was like, whoa, man. It done something for him. So when we take our role as a whoa man, we don't have to worry about trying to take control over that man. Because guess what? It wouldn't be anything that man wouldn't do for you to help you along the way. And so remember that just because your role as a woman may not be where you think it ought to be, but guess what? God created you just the way you are. So embrace your womanhood. Amen. And know your role as a woman. God bless each and every one of you.
So we are back. We are back. And guys, listen, I went ahead and put our Days Cosmetics
Look how
on.
good that looks on her.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. It's bold. It's
It goes with the
confident.
color.
And it goes with the orange. I love it. I love it.
Very
So
pretty.
we are, our Pearl of Wisdom was amazing, wasn't
So
she?
amazing.
That
So
was
good.
definitely,
So
that was
amazing.
wisdom. That was
A lot of
wisdom.
wisdom.
Good
And
wisdom.
I'm glad that you chose her as our Pearl of Wisdom, especially with the wisdom that she brings to us for women, you know, for us. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about actually doing something, you know, a little something with her in the future.
So,
Women of Wisdom, my
Prophetess,
sister
you're
circle. Little
A
bit of
conglomeration,
something.
yeah.
With the, yep. So we're going to put that.
stay tuned, prophetess.
So, you guys, we have come to, it is 8:16. My gosh.
Oh,
my
we gotta
gosh.
leave you now.
So here's our information on becoming a supporter. If you guys want to become a supporter, the Cash App information is at the bottom of here. Just stay posted on our page as well. We'll have it up daily. And we want to just tell you guys there is no competition in sisterhood, and always remember to fix your sister's crown.
Man.
And
Yes.
see you guys.
Bye.
Love you. See you next week.